can't help but vlog this out, guys. In the last couple of months, it has been a topsy-turvy situation for international students, for tourist visa holders who are already here and who wants to look for jobs, and temporary foreign workers for those who are aspiring to become permanent residents. But I did not expect it to be this far, touching the policies on the approval and the granting of multiple entry visas to those who are still applying for tourist visas. So for those of you wondering what these changes are and why am I like so worried about it and why am I so panicking about it, I will give you a brief background for the former almost default approval of tourist visas. So previously, IRCC always grants almost an automatic 10-year multiple entry visa when they approve a tourist visa. Yes, I will show you my document proving that they always give you the validity until, or same as your passport expiry, and they give you multiple entry visas. I haven't heard a single individual who has an approved Canada tourist visa who said otherwise. And so it's really sad news that they are removing this almost automatic 10-year grant of multiple entry visa. So in the headline that they have actually posted, they say guidance has been updated to indicate that multiple entry visas issued to maximum validity are no longer considered to be the standard document. So there would be more scrutinies in the future before they approve your tourist visa. They would be the one to determine if they'd give you a single entry. Imagine, guys, if you're from a third world country and you're only given a single entry coming here, and your country, like the Philippines, is like almost a one day flight to Canada, and you still plan on coming back, you're just a legit tourist. None of this is heartbreaking, and especially for those who are still applying these days for tourist visa. It's a sad news. And not just that, they also reiterated in this or implied in this news that the visa officers will be exercising their judgment on whether to issue a single or multiple entry plus the validity period. So if your passport expires in 9 years, it doesn't mean already that you will receive a visa which is valid for the next 9 years with a multiple entry, which was the condition that previously tourist visa holders have, like me. So example, my passport has an expiry of March 26, 2028. My tourist visa in Canada, which is multiple entry, is a validity until the expiry of my passport. I'm not sure if they would again proceed to the changing of ETA policies. I hope not, because this is our way as tourists to at least skip the more tedious task of gathering documents for application of tourist visas in the future. And if it comes to a situation where they will eradicate ETA, I'm not sure how beneficial would be handling Canada tourist visas in the past give someone in the future. So yeah, anyway, so let's go into details, guys, onto what the specific changes IRCC has mentioned in this removal of the almost automatic 10-year or maximum validity of multiple entry visas to approved tourists of Canada. So now let me talk about the two changes on the guidelines of how the officers would grant you an approved tourist visa for your visit to Canada. The first major change again is the removal of the 10-year multiple entry visa. You will no longer have an automatic maximum validity according to the expiry or in accordance to the expiry of your passport, but the officers would investigate on the length of validity period that they would be granting to you. So the first change is the length of the validity of the granted tourist visa. It's no longer maximum. The second one is having 2 conditions on the number of entries you could get to Canada. You can either be granted a single or multiple entry, as opposed to the former almost standard document issued by Canada, which is multiple entry. Again, so the first is the shorter, possibly shorter validity period because they have removed the maximum length of validity, and the second one is a possibility that you will be given a single entry type of visa only. So what does it mean if you really want to come here and you're praying for a multiple entry visa but you're granted a single entry instead? For that, I know that it's a sad news, but let's also be fair to the government of Canada and find out why the need for change. Why is there a need for them to impose these changes on the guidelines of issuing tourist visa to foreigners? This policy shift has taken because of their goal of really reducing the number of visitors, of temporary residents who are currently in Canada and who are contributing to the economic struggle, especially on the side of the housing market, on the side of the basic needs of the people here. And Canada just really want to manage the immigration levels here in order to mitigate the level of the surge of interest rates in housing, the crisis in housing, as they are saying. But even if others are saying it's political, maybe let's just respect it. It's what the government are trying to do in order to maintain the quality of life, most especially of the Canadian citizens and the permanent residents who are already here. So they are trying to protect the interest of their own people, which they have already forsaken because of accommodating so many foreigners. Okay, and with this new policy, Canada is aiming to control the flow of those who are not really legit tourists or who came here or who wants to come here to look for opportunities and fall into legal activities instead. The last part that I will touch is talking about the possible effects this may have on the traveler planning to come here and what should you do in order to swim with this new guidelines. First, in order not to be disappointed, you have to know that it's uncertain whether you get a single or a multiple entry visa. And if you plan to visit Canada again and again because you have family here, you have good friends here, then probably you might need another visa application or another processing stage when you want to return, and if you only got single entry visa. So you have to be ready with the detailed documentation once and again, but I think it would be easier for you to apply the second time around if you do not have any violation here as a tourist. That's a guarantee. But again, there is still uncertainty if you would be issued multiple entry in the next application that you will be doing. Another point is you have to really be updated all the time. If you're preparing, you're still on the process of, application, if you're still waiting and waiting because the policy guys has been implemented right away just yesterday here, so you have to pray, and the officer would have at least a compassion for you because you already lost your visa, for example, and that they may still grant you maximum length of validity. But if not, then try to move on and accept the fact that we don't hold Canada. We're just temporary residents here. We're just trying to become temporary residents here, and we have to respect the new guidelines and policy. Okay. And yeah, because of these changes, let's try to always be updated the immigration plans of Canada, because there would be more in the future. That's what they hinted, that's what they implied. Okay, and it may be sad, but I know in the long run it would be beneficial for everyone, especially for those who wants to become permanent residents here. Yeah, just keep updated, guys. Stay tuned to my channel, and I'll try to make as many vlogs as I can, and let's all help think on what better steps to do next. And I'll keep you posted, guys. I hope you have a great one.